Welcome to the Gamescape, everybody. My name is Jarek, and today we are back in Pathfinder: Wrath of the Righteous. This is episode 152 of our playthrough. And in our previous episode, several things happened. We returned to Dresden after Pelura's fall, and we were greeted by our basically what amounts to our new council. So Mephistopheles is one of them, along with several others that are replacing the Hand of the Inheritor and so on. Targona is back 5 minutes after she said that she couldn't help us anymore. She was back to help us. So I don't quite know what was up with that, but it's what it is. Besides that, we did a little bit of work here on the campaign map. We did come down here and we got this group taken out that was right north of this fort. We lost a few archers permanently on that one though, so that's not so good. And so I'm kind of holding off on going any further with that. We got another group coming to help them out, but I was looking up here and this is just a level 7 demon fort, which we could probably break pretty easily if we wanted to bring our other group back up. And so I think we might do that. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and get them moving that way. And so we're going to meet up here. They're not going to quite make it in this particular... Okay, they have no movement points left. This army's just going to move into this fort here. And just hold up there. That's army we put together with our new general here. He's got a few Irenyes. He's got 3 brass dragons and he's got 5 Vroks. Most of these are going to get transferred over to the other army. He's just escorting them at the moment. And so that's going to be how that works out. But that's okay. Over here, we have still an issue with guys coming up from the south. So we're going to move our groups together here. And we're going to combine these groups for just a minute or 5. Let's move these out to the wings. There was 9 divas here that are more than a full stack, so that's okay. The Clavicus demons are going to be interesting as well. We can just put them in this formation for right now. They're all melee guys, and the guys coming at us don't have anything too special as far as special abilities go. So we're going to go ahead and do that for right now. She's up to a level 8 army. We do have some recruiting that we can do, so let's get to looking at that. We can replenish a lot of our losses. We do have the ability to get some stuff. One other thing I wanted to do, there's a building we need to build in Dresden to get these guys enabled. These guys, looking at this, hardened veterans, and they're really good and they're expensive. They're 1,600 finance points each, but look at their stats. So they've got 432 hit points, or armor class 27. They have a plus 21 battle axe. So they do just a ton of damage. Plus they get critical strike, 20% chance to deal 150% damage with a critical hit. So yeah, they're quite good. And so I'm going to go ahead and probably get us going with them as well. Let's have them kind of like this, something like that. These Azadas are decent as well. Yama Azadas, they are AC 20, 171 hit points. They fly. They're a mythic unit. They have Dispel. They have Cure Moderate Wounds. And so they're decent. It's just that there's only 5 of them. So it's what it is. But that's okay. Inquisitors, Clerics, Conscripts. Do we want the Church Guards? 28 available. These guys have Dispel and Aura of Onslaught. So this is allied units at a radius of 2 squares gain +3 bonus to attack for 1 round. This is just a swift action, however. So they can do this and still attack. So it's okay. Then they also have Dispel to get rid of effects on target enemy or all negative effects on target allied unit. Let's get them. We're burning up a lot of our stuff here. Oh, we need to get to a different army though. I was looking at these guys, the Lager Beer Elementals. They're pretty funny. Infantry unit, mythic unit. Their immunities are pretty good. Stun, critical hits, precision damage, cold, sleep, paralyzed, stunned. They have a stunning attack, which is actually pretty good. Units attack stun for the target for 1 round, so that's pretty good. The oldest spirits of the Caden Kayleen's retinue who have abandoned their abodes in distillery barrels to seek out inebriated adventures, trusty drinking companions, and a good brawl. Lager beer elementals. Who'd have known? Who'd have thought? All right, let's get the paladins. And let's get these guys. We don't have enough. Oh, we really don't have enough, do we? Let's get about them then, maybe. Okay, that's interesting. They're very expensive too, I see. They're good. They're tough. AC 20. They don't dish a lot of damage, but they have good abilities. So, yeah, it's something. All right, so let's do this. Let's get some guys swapped around here. Let's get the Azadas moved here. Let's get the Paladins moved here. And we can get them moving out here too. And they'll just meet up. Try this one more time here. There we go. Travel. Okay, they're going to sit tight there. All right, I have a little bit of work to do. Dresden. We need to build the main Hall of Champions. That gets us the Hardened Veterans, Knights of Awesome, Arcanists, Dragon Slayers, Blood Ragers, and Honor Guard. To do that, though, we need 2,500 building materials. We only have 1,300, so we need to buy about 1,200 more. Let's just do 1,400 just for fun. I did sell off all the magic stuff that we've picked up around Polaris Fall and stuff like that. So that's done. Main Hall of Champions. We're going to plop it down right here. We got room for one more large building. I don't know if there are any other large buildings, but we have room for one if we need it. So that's good there. Okay, and then there's another one I was looking at is this one here. This one, I was nothing built. So I want to build, I think, 4 hospitals here. That's another plus 20% bonus to infirmary size for all of our generals. We only have enough for that. Let's buy a few more materials. And we'll get the infirmaries going there. This particular fort I was looking at, and it is pretty safe from everything. Something would have to get through this fort to get at it from this side, and they'd have to they could get at it from this side, I guess, if they wanted to, but I don't think we're going to let anybody get that close to Dresden, so it doesn't matter too much. So that seemed like a good place just for a giant hospital. All right, so there's that. I'm going to get us out. We're back onto here. I've got the party gathered. We have with us Regill this time, because we are going to be going over to here to deal with the Hell Knights. However, I think we're going to stop first at the party and figure out what trouble's going to befall us there, because I'm certain it will be something. The other thing that happened in our last episode that I hadn't mentioned yet was that Arushale finally managed to figure out her dream and was able to actually create her dream. And that involved her and Valric becoming lovers, which I thought was sweet. So let's fix our party order. You don't need to be up there. Sela can take that flank. Arushale in the back. Let's do this just so that we can get Arushale away from everybody else, so that her longbow does the extra damage that it does, or her cloak rather, for being the lone wolf thing.
You're a good person.
And so I think we're all set with Arushale. She and Valric are together finally. There's Wilster Garms. Frowning in concentration and silently moving his lips, Wilster's reading the crumpled paper in his hand. But as soon as you approach, he tucks it into his belt and gives you a bright smile. Commander, welcome. As you can see, everything's ready and we may have started celebrating without you. He shoots a guilty look at the raucous soldiers. Now this is my kind of party. Come on, let's go sit by the fire. I hear folks are telling fantastic stories. Regill casts a hard look at the merry soldiers and gravely says, Anarchy. You did a fine job of putting everything together, Wilster. Oh no, all the credit should go to the troops. With a timid chuckle, Wilster glances at the laughing and somewhat inebriated soldiers, then lets out a resigned sigh. I helped a little, here and there. But what happens if we're attacked while we're off celebrating? Well, that's not going to happen because nothing's near Dresden. All right, I'll be going. Hope you have a good time, Commander. Everyone here is on your side. Everyone dreams of having a chat with you, sharing a drink with you, and once you've had your fill, come over to me so we can raise a glass to your health. All right. I mean, I don't know if there's much that we can actually do. Here's a few named people. Bigsbard. Kane. A group of soldiers standing in front of the training dummy is engaged in a heated debate. A blond man with rippling muscles exclaims, Nah, your jab is nothing on my hook. You listen here, Bigsbard. Ask anyone in Magnamar, and they'll tell you that Tane knows a thing or two about fist fights. You tell him, Karel. To prove his point, he hits the dummy with a powerful right hook, and the dummy responds in a nasal voice, hurling an elaborate obscenity about the attacker's mother. The soldiers laugh uproariously. An elf, a scout, judging by her cloak, smiles mysteriously. Leave me out of this, boys. A dwarf, who is stroking his shaggy, partially torn beard, says in a guttural voice, Bigsbard knows fists fighting too. Speed by mass equal hit. Fast hit. Strong hit. Okay, we're going to observe these guys. At first, the argument looks like a typical disagreement between three professionals with differing views on the art of breaking noses. But you also notice the enthusiasm with which the blonde soldier by the name of Tane is appealing to the elf, Karel, and how hard he's trying to impress her. Karel appears to have noticed it too and is now blatantly enjoying herself by observing his advances. There is, however, someone she's watching with even more interest. You. As for Bigsbard, the dwarf, despite all his reserved demeanor, his pride has clearly been wounded by Tane's mocking tone. His every gesture shows that he is a nimble and experienced fighter who is used to people treating his words with respect. Okay, alright, I'm intrigued. When did our dummies start swearing when they're hit? They haven't learned to fight back yet, have they? It's just a bit of fun. We asked the mage friend of ours to enchant a dummy for us. Now it can't be broken by striking it, and whenever someone hits it, it curses. The stronger the hit, the meaner the curse. That part was my idea. Tane smiles smugly and throws a quick, half-hearted punch at the dummy. Arsehole. The soldiers erupt into laughter and the dummy reels from the hit. A grotesque face has been crudely carved into the dummy's head, labeled above for the avoidance of all doubt, a Rilu Varlesh. Regill asks in a gravelly voice, And were these alterations of army property made with the permission of the officer in charge of the training regimen? No? I thought as much. They will be notified. Karel, you have a refined sense of humor, Tane, judging by all the Magnamarian obscenities your straw friend is regaling us with. You not only came up with the idea of teaching it to speak, you also contributed greatly to its vocabulary. Ours, too. Bigsbard, you give it a try, Commander. It's all in good fun. Smile, we can talk to Karel. We can talk to them. Nah, I'm not going to get in the way of your fun. All right. We don't need... Kirkane is... Got... Kirkane and Low. There's a stir in the crowd. Everyone is watching the brawl between two officers. Poor halfling, red-faced with fury and a grunt, slouching half-elf with a phlegmatic look. Lowe says, "Here's what I want to know. How did you get promoted from stable mucker to full sergeant? You're a dolt. You couldn't guard so much as a haystack, let alone our army's supplies." Kirkane's, the half-elf's face bears a tragic expression. "Look, Lo, we agreed you'd watch it. Enough yelling. Everybody's staring at us. Come on, not in front of the commander. Don't you dare hide behind the commander's name. Go look for it, or else." The halfling gives you a sidelong glance, then decides to lower his voice after all. An insincere smile blooms on his face, and it makes him look like a snarling wolf. He finishes the last sentence with a nervous squeak. "Or else I'll strangle you gently and without any pain whatsoever." And who might you be, my loud sir? "Supply officer Low Rumpelstack at your service," the halfling offers with a dignified bow. "And this lanky bungler is assistant supply officer Sergeant Kirkane." The half-elf finishes his superior officer's introduction with a sigh. "All right, what is it you've misplaced? A map of our campaign, a supply caravan, the key to Dresden's gates." "Wine. It's Drumish gold, 7,000 a cask, harvested in the year before last, on valley, northern side. Light floral notes in the start, followed by a rich explosion of fruit on the finish." The halfling's inconsolable wails sound like a prayer to a little-known patron deity of wine connoisseurs. "A mistake on our part. We wanted to treat you to the best Drumish wine, Commander, but Lo," noticing Lo's withering glare, the half-elf corrects himself, "sadly, I lost the cask. We brought it with us to camp, but now we can't find it. This is a disgrace, a disaster. It is for the commander. It's Drumish gold, 7,000 a cask. Northern side, floral notes, an explosion of fruit on the finish." "Okay. I don't expect any special treatment. I'll drink the same wine as the rest of the troops." "Inconceivable. You're the commander. You should have only the best." "No, I insist." Interrupting the halfling's confused babbling, the elf pushes a cup into his hands. The same cups, filled with sour wine, appear in your hand and the hands of every soldier here. With approving shouts, the cups are raised in resounding cry, "Long live the commander." All right. Going on over this way. We got Hill and Venko and Lanica, apparently. The blue-haired bard with a heavily patched, brightly colored jacket is speaking animatedly to a group of captivated soldiers. "So there I was, in a tavern, cornered by demons, about to be torn to pieces. Then I grab a bottle and say, 'Good sirs, I ask that you let this bard enjoy her last drink before her demise.' And the demons go, 'No harm in that. It's her last one after all.' So we sat down to drink. For 3 days, I drank moonshine with these horned beasts until they all passed out, and that's when I gathered their weapons all quiet-like and tiptoed on to the exit. And then..." Benko, a bearded fellow looking a little worse for wear in his expensive clothes, likely some baron's scion, is listening to the bard's tale with an open mouth. "You're kidding. You really outdrank the demons. What happened next?" Hill, the mage in cracked glasses, caustically interrupts. Except demons are not affected by alcohol from the material plane. Enough with your fabrications, Lanica. The commander is here. What will he think once he hears your tall tales?" Ember claps, hanging on the bard's every word. "I love campfire stories, especially ones that aren't real. They're the most entertaining." What happened to those drunken demons and the brave bard? Lanica continues eagerly. "So I open the door, but the last of the demons grabs me by the shoulder. He's wobbly, barely able to stand. He says, 'Let's play some dice.' So we start playing. 7 rounds we played, and the poor demon bet and lost. Horns, wings, tail, and in the end, it's his demonic nature itself." "Which version did you play? Taldan or perhaps Osirian?" "The abyssal version, of course." "Fascinating." His pencil is already scribbling. "So the demon turned into an ordinary mortal, and off he went to Canabras, where he became a merchant, had a family, and gained a reputation for being a nasty piece of work. But I kept his horns as a trophy." She reaches for her bag and pulls out a pair of horns, earning applause from the bearded fellow. Bruchley says with a sigh, "If only it were that easy. If only." The mage sighs glumly. Why, it's so outrageous it's unworthy of being commented on. A planar metamorphosis of the soul caused by a game of dice while in one's cups. And those are goat horns, by the way. I could throw this on Horgus. That would be kind of funny. Sorry, just looking at our options here, guys. Oh, it's all true. Yeah, every word of it. I met a merchant in question myself. I met the merchant in question myself. His name is Horgus Worm. See, the commander knows I'm not lying. I'm telling you nothing but the honest truth. She gives you a tearful wink. You what? You're saying this story about Horgus... You're saying this is a story about Horgus Worm? You know, I've heard of the man too. That must be what really happened then. All right. Should we regale them with a story? Is it true that your mythic pal... Tell us about the Abyss. You've been there, haven't you? What does the Lucianera look like? All right, well, what does it look like? We'll go with the first one here. It is the seat of chaos. The space is jumbled, islands soar through the sky, everyone wants to kill each other, and the law is devoid of logic and rules. Hill nods his approval. The books I've read describe the place in much the same way. It's good to have it confirmed by a witness. What about the ruler of Lucianera, Nocticula? What's she like? Is she really as seductive as they say? She's beautiful, but beneath her beauty lies a sinister and cunning manipulator, murderer, and a sadist. Lennox whispers, add a tantalizing feature of some kind. At least say that she has 3 heads and 17 tails. Trust me, it'll make a world of difference. Adjusting his glasses, Hill inquires, and so far as I understand, you encountered Baphomet himself in the Midnight Isles? You fought, yes? You can't begin to imagine such power. He threw entire mountains at me, sent legions of his minions, and then he grabbed my sword and bit it in half. It was a miracle I escaped with my life. Ben goes, what are you talking about? He took a bite out of your sword just like that, and he didn't even cut himself? What a beast! Crowd applauds you. Seems you rarely get to hear such a thrilling tale from the person who lived it. All right, that's good enough. Let's get back to Wilser here. I hope you're enjoying yourself, Commander. Yeah, I think I've had enough fun. Then allow me to propose a toast. While the soldiers gather around you to watch, Wilser consults the paper he just plucked from his belt and then bombastically says, Dear Commander, we here are but simple soldiers, while you have had great victories, conversed with gods, descended into the abyss, and returned in triumph. The gap between us is vast, and that makes our admiration for you, your great sacrifice, all the more profound. You renounced otherworldly and dangerous powers and accepted a mortal's lot, one we all share. A feat like that takes legendary courage, so please accept our legendary respect. Here's to the commander. The soldiers raise their cups and tankards with a deafening cheer. A silken bundle appears in Wilser's hands. This humble gift is from all of us simple crusaders. We named it Trusted Friend because that's how we think of you, our trusted friend. Your fight is our fight. Your triumph is our triumph. We received item Trusted Friend. Denlin Blackmead, a dark-haired warrior with a mischievous smile, adds, and if we also happen to get a bit of glory from all those tall tales they tell about you, even better. All right, I'll ask him, who are you? The warrior's smile is bold without a shred of embarrassment. Denlin Blackmead. I came from Brevoy with the latest reinforcements, Commander. Okay, fine. Perhaps the rumors of my fame are exaggerated, or maybe someone's ears are too big for his own good. The warrior readily laughs, but his voice holds a note of challenge. But I will not allow anyone to ridicule my perfectly average ears. I challenge you, Commander. May this friendly match determine which one of us is right. Okay, here we go. All right, I'll take your challenge. What's going to happen here? Excellent. He claps his hands with excitement. How about we test your prowess in a manner as safe as it is ancient? A drinking contest. Do you know what my constitution is? With a wink, Denlin confidently hands you a tankard filled to the brim. It has a spicy, flowery aroma. The soldiers watch with interest, and some are already making wagers. Well, Commander, shall we throw one back? For our victory. I have a feeling this is not just normal anything to drink. I think we're getting set up for something very bad to happen here. This guy's probably like a demon or something, and we're probably gonna like end up passed out and kidnapped or something silly like that. Let's see what happens. A dubious pursuit. Win or lose, competitions of this nature weaken the command's authority. All right, I don't know what our scores are here. I can definitely do that. I could definitely do that. Not that one, though. Can intimidate him, or I can just outdrink him to my victory. I like the intimidate one. Your piercing stare makes Denlin choke on his drink and start coughing. You hear a few laughs from the crowd, and all eyes are now fixed on your opponent, and no one seems to have noticed your sip was much smaller than his. Your body feels pleasantly warm, and the world around you starts to spin. You barely manage to wipe the goofy smile off your face. Instinct suggests no ordinary drink could have affected you so powerfully with one sip. Yeah, I saw that coming. Wiping his foppish mustache, Denlin nods to you with respect. He looks as sober as a judge, but his cheeks have turned a bit pink. Another, Commander. Shall we drink to our fallen comrades? Come on, Commander. You haven't yielded to the demons, so you can't yield now. Valric, Valric. Sela's energetic cheering stirs up the soldiers who start chanting your name. We're going to take a look at the drink, although we're not probably going to make this one. Oh, I did make it. Wow. The drink is most likely enchanted. You've heard stories about the magical wines of the Fae that can topple a mammoth, as well as many other drinks from other planes of creation with similarly devastating effects. Okay, let's take a look at his. His drink looks exactly like yours, but you're no longer sure you can fully trust your senses. I could out fortitude him. I could definitely out fortitude him. It's nothing my liver can't handle. To the fallen. In one mighty swig, you drain your tankard and then slam it down on the table. Liquid flame runs in your veins. It feels good. Feels absolutely wonderful. Denlin's empty tankard slams down on the table next to yours. With a drunken grin, he asks, "Ready for more? I'll bring another flask." Denlin stands up a little too quickly, jerks, and begins to tilt to one side. A moment later, he crumples to the ground and the crowd laughs with approval. In an instant, he jumps to his feet, his tipsy smile replaced by a grimace of frustration. "Hey, why are you laughing? I haven't lost yet." He turns to you and blurts out, "Drinking contests are for rookies. I propose a true contest. Arm wrestling. Do you accept this challenge, Commander?" All right. I'm not going to arm wrestle you. This is a party, not a tournament. Fine, perhaps I went too far. I offer you my apologies, Commander. Drinking tends to bring out the thrill seeker in me. Denlin laughs with a disarming friendliness. "A fine contest, albeit a brief one. Thank you, Commander, for sitting down with a simple soldier like me." Yeah, I don't think you're so simple. I don't think we've seen the last of Denlin Blackbeard either. All right, guys, I think that's it for this. See if Wilster's got anything else. All right. Yep. All right. Well, I think that's probably enough of this. Let's go get Regill. Have Regill straighten the let's have Regill straighten the Hell Knights out. Okay, they're almost up to our Crusader army. Okay, we want to enter. I have a feeling it might be a good idea to buff up.
We must stop this war.
Require my
Require my
What was I
counsel.
saying just now?
Hell Knight
Wanna
Unholy
play together?
or Holy, Flaming Burst, Axiomatic, Onslaught. Free action, Hell Knight increases base speed by 10 feet and gains a +4 bonus to strength for 1 round. If the Hell Knight is mounted, these bonuses also apply to his mount. Okay, he doesn't have any actual buffs that he needs to worry about.
No reason to pause.
Let's get her buffed up.
Please, allow me.
I'm always open to ideas. This war must end.
Okay, we're pretty much out of buffs with Valric too, other than his potion. So.
We will win this war.
All right, where are we supposed to be going here? Final verdict. Settle the dispute. The Hell Knights are demanding answers, and Regill, the commander's little ally, has taken a surprising stance in this debate. We need to clear the air with whoever's in command, I guess. Okay, here they are. The Hell Knight outpost welcomes you with sharp and inhospitable silence. The tall figures in black, imposing armor tower over you. There are no threats or greetings, nothing at all. Regill takes his place at the formation near the Paralictors Renth, Tai, and Deothan, but slightly ahead of them. There's a barely noticeable shift in his posture and demeanor. It's almost like he's getting ready to perform a wearisome and unpleasant task. You all know why we are gathered here. Today, the Order's emissaries will hear the results of my investigation into the actions of the individual known as the commander of the Fifth Crusade, as well as decide the fate of said individual. Oh, you're putting me on trial? In a way, we have a problem requiring a solution. We shall solve it, one way or another. The Orders need to know whether or not you can be trusted. I will coordinate the tribunal as someone who knows the facts better than the rest. I do not consent to that. Who are you to stand in my way? We are the Hell Knights. We must solve the issue in question or resort to extreme measures. All right. Well, I'll hear you out and then I'll kill you. I will state the facts as they are known to me. You reserve the right to speak in your own defense. Regill's voice remains cold and unpleasantly impersonal. I will start with the main reason for today's assembly. The source of the commander's supernatural powers had been hidden from us until recently. But now it is clear the emergence of these abilities was caused by Regill Vorlesh, a criminal and an enemy that is unequivocally and unconditionally must be destroyed. Whether the commander is her associate or an involuntary tool is yet to be determined. I neither cooperated with her nor obey her. It would be proper to present at least one piece of evidence confirming the cooperation between the commander and Vorlesh as the criminal. So far, your accusation has not been supported by any proof. This is Renth speaking. Let us continue. Aside from the source of the power, there is also the matter of its application. Heeding the advice of the esteemed goddess Iomade, the commander rejected the gifts bestowed upon him by Regill Vorlesh. By doing so, he cravenly endangered the very mission of closing the world wound. We are left but with one key that can permanently solve the problem, and this key is a witch that is hiding not even the gods know where. The commander's decision was contradictory. He both ruined the enemy's plans and made our task significantly harder. Did you really just accuse me of getting rid of the power that Regill Vorlesh bestowed upon me against my will? Regill pays no attention to your words. We must also scrutinize the commander's temperament. The main question of interest to us was whether we could rely on such an ally. What if he became a puppet in the hands of our enemies? To determine this, I took the liberty of staging a test that featured several treacherous demons. The result of the test was exceptional. The commander is capable of seeing through demonic deception and can successfully resist their tricks, if he wishes to. Alright, well, we'll just let him prattle on. Paralictor Renth says, enough! Paralictor Aminos Renth raises his hand, calling for silence. He and the other Paralictors exchange glances, then they nod in turn. We have seen and heard enough. The verdict is clear. What we have heard is sufficient to conclude that the accusations against the commander are unsubstantiated. We have no reason to suspect our ally of treason or associating with a Regill Vorlesh. From now on, the orders are prepared to provide all possible assistance to the Fifth Crusade. Regill listens very closely, sometimes nodding in accord with the words of the fellow Paralictor, then states in a weary and disagreeable voice, I disagree, and I officially dispute this decision. Do you intend to maintain your cooperation with an individual known as the commander of the Fifth Crusade even after everything you've heard? Unbelievable. This stupid and perfidious decision puts you on the same page as the demon lackey we have been discussing. Paralictor Derange is absolutely correct, Yacker says. Nobody has better knowledge or more in-depth experience in this matter than him. Derange, that's enough, Renth says. We are not going to argue like cantankerous old men. This decision is final, and you know that you have no means to dispute it. This is correct, I do not, but I have a very different way of correcting your stupid, childish mistake. Regill narrows his yellow eyes and gives you a piercing glare. I hereby challenge you to a duel, Commander. Oh, you've got to be kidding me, Regill. I'm going to beat you like a red-headed stepchild. This is irresponsible of you, Derange, but lawful. I cannot interfere, even though I very much want to. The orders refuse to support you, and you are making a fool of yourself to soothe your wounded pride. Such behavior is not befitting of a Paralictor. That's enough, Regill. Admit that you have lost. Enough of this farce, this petty squabbling. The verdict has been passed and is not subject to appeal. The Hell Knight orders have no complaints against the Fifth Crusade or its commander. Indeed, we are now confident that we can completely trust you, Commander. From this moment, not only will the Hell Knights continue fighting in the World Wound as allies of the Crusaders, we shall also put elite squads under your command. The World Wound must be closed, and we will assist you to the best of our ability. Renth continues. Aminos gives Regill a steely stare. We also apologize for the actions of Paralictor Regill Derange. He has overstepped his bounds and made a number of other questionable decisions that make us doubt his competence. He is henceforth removed from command of this chapter and stripped of his Paralictor rank, pending further orders from the Godclaw headquarters. Regill's expressionless face is impossible to read. He appears unfazed as always. He simply shrugs in response to Aminos' words. All right, I hope there will be no further misunderstandings between us. There won't be, Commander. The purpose of this council was to eliminate them. Regill, now no longer a Paralictor, does not move or make a sound, but instead casts a quick glance that lets you know he'd like to speak in private. Yeah. This ought to be good.
I owe you an explanation, Knight
Yeah,
Commander.
do you think? Regill does not appear to be shaken or perturbed by what has just happened. His stern expression changes slightly, for a fleeting moment becoming calmer and more pensive.
First, I'd like to paint you a picture of the situation I found myself in shortly before we met. I was one of the first to receive the information about an individual supposedly chosen by the gods who appeared in Canobris. This message was followed by the news that the Queen of Mendev had appointed this person as the commander of the new crusade. The orders reacted in every conceivable way. I imagine that you and anything even remotely related to you was being discussed in every corner of every Hell Knight citadel. I did not have to be present to imagine the words spoken and the suggestions offered, nor the chaos. The orders often cannot agree, even among themselves. Anticipating the upcoming arguments, I submitted a petition and volunteered to attach myself to the new commander in order to assess his leadership and discover the true nature of his powers. But a good strategist looks far into the future. The role I gave myself was just the beginning. I watched and prepared contingency plans for every potential turn of events, such as if you turned out to be a menace that must be destroyed, or if you turned out to be a valuable asset and our best hope of triumphing over the abyssal host, an ally who must be supported, no matter the cost. I have been a Hell Knight for most of my life. I know the orders like the back of my hand. All our might, determination, and glory, as well as our weaknesses. Unfortunately, it was clear that not all of us would appreciate the tremendous potential of such an important piece showing up on the board. I could write dozens of reports, give you the most stellar of testimonies, and that still wouldn't be enough to convince the skeptics.
Okay, and what would you put in these reports? What is your honest opinion?
I believe you are our best chance of healing the world wound once and for all. But there is more. I see you not as a tool or a game piece, but as an ally, and a commander with great leadership potential. Which is why it is so important to remove the division between you and the orders.
What would the consequences of the Hell Knights' disapproval be?
For you, the worst-case scenario would have involved a war on two fronts. Having said that, I do not think things would have gotten that far. You have proven yourself to be an ally to the entire world, not a threat to it. Still, even the loss of support from the Hell Knights, or the hostility of individual highly aggressive orders, could have cost your crusade dearly. I wanted to avoid that crisis.
Okay, go on.
Only a military tribunal would be able to resolve the issues between the Crusade commander and the Hell Knights. As formal a hearing as possible, to assure the orders they had considered the case and had the chance to pronounce a verdict. The occasion also called for a sacrifice. A symbolic victim would reinforce the impression of a successful trial and a unanimous decision. Nothing bolsters the reputation of the accused like the public humiliation of their accuser. I was the obvious choice for the role. So I organized this tribunal and did my best to ensure that the Paralictors arrived at the only correct decision, given the circumstances. Of course, this meant that my reputation would be destroyed, and I would be stripped of my rank. But that's inconsequential. Such losses are acceptable. I make no great fuss about the bleaching, but I do realize the full scope of its effects. The Fifth Crusade is quite possibly my last campaign. The pressures of time pushed people to extreme measures, and I am no exception. My aim was more than simply to prevent the Hell Knights from rallying against you. I wanted to strengthen your alliance, to give you a powerful army, a strong asset in the confrontation with the abyssal host. My gambit was successful. I am satisfied.
Okay, well, I mean, I see what he did. Fine. We'll thank him. This is probably the good thing to do. Thank you, Regill. I appreciate your sacrifice.
Your gratitude is unnecessary. I did what had to be done. Now that we are entirely clear, let us return to the main objective. I still hope to see the matter of the world wound resolved once and for all.
All right, there we go. Loot. Nothing worth taking. Let's get everybody moving. It's actually pretty clever. It's actually pretty clever. Receive the Wrecking Devil. Have to look and see what that is. Also need to look and see what else we got. So let's go date from newest to oldest. The Wrecking Devil Chrome Gnome Hooked Hammer. This is a +5 with Axiomatic Nullifying and +5 enhancement. Nullifying does what? Special ability can only be placed on melee weapons. A nullifying weapon suppresses the creature's spell resistance for a short amount of time. Anytime the weapon strikes a creature with spell resistance, the target's spell resistance is reduced by 1 for 1 minute. On a confirmed critical hit, the spell resistance is instead reduced by 2. Multiple hits from a nullifying weapon stack. Nice. Let's give that to Regill. Seems like it's better than the one he's got. DC 23 Fortitude saving throw to avoid being stunned. Enemies stunned this way, they'll suffer an additional 2d8 piercing damage. I think the +5 is probably better. Trusted Friend. This token grants its wearer +2 circumstance bonus to charisma and a +5 circumstance bonus to persuasion skill checks. Only the Knight Commander can equip it. I mean, it's probably not better than what we already have, so we'll probably just not use it. Then, yeah, that was the gift from the soldiers. Unfortunately, it's not better than what we've already got. Okay, there's that, and we are getting close to being up on time, but I think we can keep pushing on just a little bit more. We can also come up here to the Dragon Burial Ground. So we'll go until we're tired here and see about resting. Okay, army's reached you and now attacks. So this is at Stone Maze. That's a lot of bad guys. She did have a spell. She can cure wounds. That's what she can do. +2 bonus to melee attack and a -3% penalty to maximum hit points. This is a stratagem with a mind affecting effect. I don't think there's really much reason to wait, is there? Allied units gain +3 bonus to attack, -2 penalty to speed. Only one formation type ability can be active. This ability is a stratagem. Ignore up to 3 points of damage reduction for 3 rounds. These guys don't have damage reduction, I don't think. They don't. They don't either. Nope. Okay. Well, let's move them up. We're going to move up a little bit so that we can get the first strike in. Okay. Okay, now let's go to attack formation since we're engaged. What was that? Cultists deal 13,000 damage. Channel negative energy, damage living. Well, there goes all my Calabacus demons. Okay, we're going to go ahead and heal our hedge knights here. It's only 4 guys down. Only 4 that we're going to be able to save, but I don't want to lose anybody more than I need to. Okay. I think I switched to automatic, but I was definitely not controlling them at the end there. All right. Well, we're going to get... Oh my goodness. We got killed bad there. See, I didn't get a chance to heal our knights. That's not cool. That's not cool. All right, so there's that. All right, let's split those guys off again. And they're going to start heading this way. And the other army. Who are these? Signifiers. Greater Fireball, Magic Missile, Shield Wall. Holy buckets. There's 5 of them. They're 259 hit points. Grand Tier Unit, Lawful Evil. Wow. And they hit like a truck too when they do go into melee. All right, they can just sit tight there. That's fine. Let's get down to here. These guys can continue. Okay, let's Move you to here, and then let's... No. Combine armies here. No, it's this side, this way. Not really any way to protect against big attacks with 4 units. That'll do. All right. There's that. Let's move them up to here. And then we can combine these units too. Actually, let's put them there. These guys here. Put the dragons here. There we go. And then let's put the rock drakes in here. Can we get another unit in there? We can. Let's put them in this corner. Missiles protected by big guys. Can't drop them. Can't drop fireball on our archers or anything either. So that should be good. All right. Good. You go ahead and just head back home. I guess we don't have to do it that way. Okay, and then the Crusaders going to... No movement points left. Okay, this place is ready to upgrade if we want to upgrade it, I think. But nothing really to do here. Okay, party's up there. Okay, they're just out of points, so all good. All right, guys, I think that might do it for this episode. We're getting right up on an hour here, and this seems like a decent stopping place, so I think we'll call it an episode here. Hope you've enjoyed it. I have enjoyed it. And if you have, do me a big favor, hit that like button for me. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button too. And we'll see you guys next time when we go on up here and find out what our archaeologist friend has gotten up to. And we'll push in against this fort with our army now that they've been combined and we've got combined forces here. So that's what's up next. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.